Hello, everyone. Here we are, the end of the bracket, the last one. And then tomorrow night I will send out the final bracket with all the first round stuff filled in so you can take a look at those songs. A reminder that you are going to be picking one of those 64 songs and finding a cover of it that you like and telling me a little bit of what you like about each of the original and the cover and how they are similar and different. So be thinking about that, please. Just side note also, seniors, thank you so much for our little Zoom meeting today. It was a little bittersweet to see all your wonderful faces again because I miss you. And my heart goes out to you right now. But it was really nice to see you. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. So, results from yesterday. House of the Rising Sun versus Baba O'Riley. 72% chose House of the Rising Sun. In the Still of the Night versus Louie Louie. 73% chose In the Still of the Night. Did you enjoy Louie Louie? So funny. No One by Alicia Keys versus Hello. Adele wins by 53%. Adele's Hello wins. And then Falling Slowly versus Wake Me Up. 81% chose Wake Me Up. So today, our first matchup is Ray Charles' Georgia on My Mind versus John Lennon's Imagine. So Ray Charles, remember he is he was blind and an incredible piano player. Just his knowledge of jazz and theory is just unbelievable. And so this was actually a song written in 1930 by two guys, Hoagy Carmichael and Stuart Gorrell. That's a guess. And Georgia on My Mind, it could be about a girl, and it could be about the state of Georgia. They're not entirely sure. The two guys that wrote it, they never lived in Georgia, but Hoagy Carmichael had a sister named Georgia, and so, yeah, either one kind of works. I've got Georgia on My Mind. Could be a girl, could be a place. And the reason that Ray Charles recorded this song is because he was famous and doing well financially, so he had a driver that drove him places, and Ray Charles was singing this in the back seat, and his driver heard him singing it and said, "You should record this song," and good thing that he did, because it's just one of his most iconic songs. And when it's different than a lot of pop music because it's a lot more jazz influenced than a lot of pop music, and just the chords that he uses are so intricate and difficult. It's really impressive, so I hope you enjoy that. And then Imagine by John Lennon. A lot of people think this is by the Beatles, but this is after the Beatles broke up. Big deal in the world of pop music, but we won't talk about that now. But John Lennon wrote this. A lot of people call this his greatest musical gift to the world, basically. He wrote this in 1971 in his bedroom, and his wife, Yoko Ono, who some people dislike very much because some people blame her for splitting the Beatles up, but whatever. She watched him write it at the big white grand piano that they had that's very famous now. She watched him write that melody, the chord progression, all the lyrics. There's 22 lines of, here's what it says in Rolling Stone magazine, 22 lines of graceful, plain-spoken faith in the power of a world united in purpose to repair and change itself. And Yoko Ono, after John Lennon passed away, said this. She said, "It's not like he thought, oh, this could be an anthem." She said, "Imagine was just what John believed, that we're all one world, one people, and he wanted to get that idea out." John Lennon knew that he had written something special. In one of his last interviews, he said that um, this was as good as anything he had written with the Beatles. And then Rolling Stone magazine, I love how they say this. We know that it's better than that. It's an enduring song of solace and promise that has carried us through extreme grief, from the shock of John Lennon's own death in 1980 to the unspeakable horror of September 11th. It is now impossible to imagine a world without Imagine, and we need it more than he ever dreamed. That's well written, isn't it? John Lennon was shot and killed in 1980 in Central Park in New York City. But yeah, just one of those songs that most people on the planet, I think, have heard. So that's the first one. And the last matchup is Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel versus Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. So Like a Bridge Over Troubled Water, personally, this song makes me think of my dad, because when I was growing up, he always made me listen to 50s and 60s music. Made me, I mean, I loved it, and that's why I love 50s and 60s music so much. But he had a white cassette tape of Simon and Garfunkel's greatest hits, and you would put it in the tape player of the Dodge Shadow. And every time it came on, he would say, "You know, Nick, a lot of music critics believe that this is the greatest song of all time." So this song makes me think of my dad when he used to say that all the time. But he's not wrong. Obviously, it's on this list for a reason. Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel, as we talked about last time with their song The Boxer, there was conflict there between them. They didn't always get along, and they split up. So Paul Simon wrote this song about providing comfort to a person in need. And Paul Simon said, "I have no idea where this song came from. It came all of a sudden. It was one of the most shocking moments in my songwriting career. I remember thinking, this is considerably better than I usually write." But Art Garfunkel sang this song alone, which Paul Simon eventually admitted to regretting. He wished that he could have had his voice in it also. And then after they split up, Paul Simon did a lot of solo concerts and had a solo career. And in his last concert, in his farewell tour, he sang this song. And before he said, "I'm going to reclaim my lost child." And then he sang Bridge Over Troubled Water. And it's a beautiful song. I also put a link to John Legend singing it live at one of his concerts. I'm assuming it's the end of the concert because he's drenched. But it's such a beautiful performance because you can hear the crowd singing along on the chorus, and I love when that happens. All those voices coming together. It's just so powerful and beautiful. And I love me some John Legend. That man can sing. And then Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. He wrote this when he was 24. And one of the band members said that there was no sheet music for this song. It was totally by ear. And it was totally disorganized, and it just happened, he said. It just kind of happened. Here's what Rolling Stone magazine says about it. "No other pop song has so thoroughly challenged and transformed the commercial laws and artistic convention of its time for all time." Just as Bob Dylan bent folk music's roots and forms to his own will, he transformed popular song with the content and ambition of Like a Rolling Stone. His electrifying vocal performance, Bob Dylan proved that everything he did, first and always, was rock and roll. Bob Dylan said it's the best song I ever wrote. It's not about the Rolling Stones, the band. It's a reference to an old proverb, "A Rolling Stone gathers no moss." And he used this in the song to indicate loneliness, basically, and kind of despair. His Rolling Stone in the song is without a home, like a complete unknown. Again, upperclassmen, you'll know this song, I think 10th grade, because this was part of our Bob Dylan medley. But I think I could probably take a half hour here and tell you about why this song and Bob Dylan is so important. to the to pop music and rock and roll music and everything, but I'm not gonna do that. But it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So that's what you're voting on today. And then the new songs, the last bunch is Bad Romance by Lady Gaga versus Rolling in the Deep by Adele. Then Florida Georgia Line's Cruise versus Pharrell Williams' Happy. I'm happy. I know you might not want to listen to Happy, but click on the link. It's Pharrell's music video of people just dancing, and it'll put a smile on your face. It's so much fun to watch, even if you don't like the song. And I think some of you just need a reason to smile right now, so click on it and it'll help. So that's it. There we go. Tomorrow I'll give you the results of the whole first round here, and then we will move on from there. So I hope you enjoyed this first round of songs. I hope you found some artists and some songs that you now love. Yeah. So it's supposed to be beautiful today, so get outside and have a wonderful day. I love you, kids. Bye-bye.